Greetings aspirants, hope you all are doing well. This is the first class for the Pre Naipunyata Workbook series that the team CivicCentre has started. We are all aware of the Naipunyata program that we have started. Now what is Pre Naipunyata program? This program is focusing on those students who are beginners and are struggling to write answers in the first place. This program helps you to begin the answer writing process in the first place. So, we have come up with a workbook program. That means we are providing you a workbook wherein you can see we will give you a news article on a regular basis, on daily basis, and we will ask you a question based on the article that we are sharing. Now, if you can see in this workbook, here we understand what is the use of the workbook and how to use the workbook in the first place. First, we will provide you with the article. You need to read the given article and you need to understand the article. Then we will give you empty boxes, a worksheet with a grid or a template in which we will provide you empty boxes. You will just have to fill the empty boxes according to the demand that is asked. So you will understand how to structurize an answer without even putting an effort. The effort of structurizing, how to structure an answer, is provided in a template for you here. So, we also will give you sample questions, or if there is a topic, there are two topics that we will discuss today. If we are giving you a topic and we will give you PYQs of the exam related, like if we are taking UPSC, then we will give you PYQs of UPSC for you to understand what kind of questions are asked in the exam based on the topic that or the article that you have read today. Today, after that, we will discuss what is the keyword that is mentioned in the question that we are asking you to write the answer for. We will discuss various key concepts that are mentioned in the question that we have given you. Apart from that, we will tell you how to structurize the answer, what kinds of introductions you can write for an answer. We will help you write different kinds of introductions for the same question so that it will help you understand how you can start in how many types you can introduce a topic, right? There are various kinds. We prefer definition based. Concepts, and we also use some data to establish or to substantiate the concept that is asked in the question. Otherwise, we can also always start by the findings of a recent report. Okay, you can either start by giving the definitions that are asked, the key concepts that are asked in the question. You can provide the definition as your introduction, or you can use some data or statistics from the economic survey or other data provided by international organizations, or you can start with various report based findings. Now, when we come to the body of the answer, you will have to address various dimensions of the answer. It could be socio-economic dimension, it could be a cultural dimension, it could be a political dimension, it could be a that dimension like gender. How is it affecting the gender equity in the country? How is it affecting the environment? So all this could be different dimensions for a concept. When you write the dimensions, we expect you to write at least 2 points for dimensions and a minimum of 4 dimensions in the answer. Then we'll see what are the types of conclusions, how you can differently conclude various concepts. You can use a futuristic approach where you tell how in future you can negate the challenges that are being faced by any certain issue that is given in the question, or you can also use SDG based conclusions. What is SDG based conclusions? We have different sustainable development goals to be achieved, right? Every country is striving to achieve all the 17 sustainable goals. Now this 17 sustainable development goals can be linked with the concepts that are asked. So when you conclude an answer, you are interlinking various concepts, right? Again, you can go for a balanced conclusion wherein you can give a balanced approach of the positives and negatives, meaning you can give a balanced crux of the answer as your conclusion. So we will see how you can do this using the examples or the questions that we have already given to you. Here there is another important point, that always substantiate the facts. Do not give facts that are general in view. Whenever there are facts, you have to substantiate the fact using the static facts, using some data or some report or some statistics, right? That will make the whole answer more relevant, right? Moving on, here if you observe, we have given you an article on GST. This article talks about the recent Goods and Service Tax Council. I am going to refer Goods and Service Taxes GST in the video, okay? Now, this article over here that we have given, it is about the recent council meeting that has been held and what are the different outcomes of the council. First, you will have to read the article that is given and then understand what is it talking about. Now, after you read and understand the article, we have given you the PYQ reference, meaning you can see that these questions that explain the rationale behind the GST of Act of 2017 and how has COVID impacted the GST compensation fund and created new federal tensions. So this question was asked in UPSC mains of 2020 in GS3 paper. So such kind of questions are asked from the static part of the GST. Though the article talks about the recent GST council, we are not expecting you to answer from the article that is given. This is not a reading comprehension that we are doing. You should understand and you should be able to analyze and link what kind of questions might come if there is a particular topic or a issue in news for a long period of time. Then you need to understand how you need to link with the static portion and what kind of questions can be expected from the current events that are happening. So if you see, the question over here is related to GST, but it doesn't ask about the GST Council recent developments. It asks you to discuss how GST regime promotes cooperative fiscal federalism in India. Now if you observe the question carefully, we understand as we went through the sample, you understand it is important that the template for you is provided in this manner, right? So now the template is provided in this manner for you, wherein we have given you so many blanks. First, you understand the relevance of the keyword that is given in the question. Now, what is the keyword in the question? The keyword here is discuss. Now, whenever you see a keyword, you need to understand what will be the structure of the answer based on the keyword that is provided in the question. Now, what is discuss? What will you write when a keyword like discuss appears in the question? You will actually have to write what or why or how of the concepts. What, why or how of the concept that is asked. Now, what are the concepts that are asked in this question? It is talking about GST. How is it promoting cooperative fiscal federalism in India? So, the key concepts are GST as a tool to promote cooperative fiscal federalism. Now, you can actually start your answer by addressing what is cooperative fiscal federalism. You can now, you have to fill that the keyword here is discuss, right? Now, how are you going to structure? You will start with the definitions of the key concepts, or you will provide any kind of current affairs related to it, the key concepts that is present, or you will write the definition, or any findings of the report can be used to write the introduction of this particular key concepts. Next, after this, what you will do? You will answer what or why or how of the concept asked. Then you will talk about the positives and the negatives of the key concept, right? Or you can also call it as achievements or challenges in that particular topic. Then how will you conclude? You will always give a positive conclusion, which is either futuristic in nature or it is based on the SDGs. You link it to SDGs, or you have a balanced crux of the content that you are writing in the answer. Now what are the key concepts? You will fill the same, saying that the key concepts are GST as a tool to promote cooperative fiscal federalism. So this understanding of the question and what is being asked in the particular question will make your answer relevant. It will help you to not deviate from the question that is asked, right? It helps you to write a relevant answer. It helps you to write the appropriate answer for the asked question. Now, you have 3 types of introductions. You will fill all the 3 types. Now, current affairs based, you can use the article that is there. Say that the GST Council that has recently taken place helped in addressing various loggerheads which enhances the cooperative federalism in India. Right? You can mention any of the examples from the above article for current affairs based introduction, right? You can just introduce saying that how it is helping to address various loggerheads, to solve various loggerheads in this manner. You can also define what is cooperative physical federalism. Now, what is cooperative physical federalism? What is federalism in first place? It is the division of powers between union and the center. Now, when you are saying cooperative, that means how are states and union working cooperatively, where the distribution of powers is horizontal in nature, not vertical in nature. The distribution of powers is horizontal and it helps in promoting overall growth of the country. So, you're starting your answer by defining the key concept of the question. Next, if you're seeing, you can also start with a report based. You can say a report of 2019 of World Bank says the decentralization of powers and cooperative federalism, physical federalism enhances the achievement of SDG 3. SDG 1, that is to eradicate poverty, and 8, wherein the economic development and employment to have decent employment opportunities for all. So to achieve these, the World Bank says in 2019 report that cooperative federalism and decentralization of powers is important. Right? Now this is a report and we are introducing that how cooperative physical federalism is allowing to achieve various SDGs. You can use it in your introduction. Moving on, let's see what are the various dimensions. Now we have understood cooperative federalism means that the separation of powers or how the powers are divided between the union and the states. Now you can say what is the composition of GST. What is the composition of GST? Council. You can say that it consists of finance minister as the union finance minister as the chairperson and all the finance ministers of state or of equivalent rank ministers are the members of the GST council. That means the representation here is equal for both central as well as for the states. Then you can say how is the decisions made? What is the decision making process of GST council? What is the decision making process? There is a consensus they have to arrive, wherein you understand that 1/3 of the voting value is with the union and 2/3 is with the states, which helps the states to have a greater voice in decision making process, right? Also, GST allows for equal and holistic growth of the country. How is this happening? This is happening because of the higher economy states are contributing for the benefits of the lower economic states, right? All the taxes are collected and they are equally distributed among the states. Now, if there is any kind of decision that has to be made on for different particular state that is in need, like for example in 2018 Kerala had floods, right? Now they have to rebuild themselves. They need more funds for the rebuilding process of the state after the floods. Now the GST has allowed for imposing an additional cess of 10% for Kerala in such conditions. That means it is promoting overall growth of the country, and it is also promoting the cooperative fiscal federalism. It is helping the weaker states grow equally along with the other states that are stronger, right? Now if we come, you can have more dimensions. At least we are expecting you to write 4 dimensions. Now I want to conclude using SDG, right? Now I will say the GST helps GST as a tool of cooperative federalism in India is a robust mechanism to achieve SDG 3 by 2030, right? This is a balanced answer. Before going there, I'm sorry, I've missed the negatives part. Now what are the negatives of this GST? The negatives would be to have a consensus between various states. They need 3/4 majority that is present in the council, and to have such high consensus voting to be done, it takes a lot of time. That is, it is very time taking process. So this could be a challenge. And the higher economy states, as we have discussed, the higher income states or the higher economy states, when their funds are being distributed to the lower income states, the process should be very transparent and the council should be accountable Otherwise the state might feel burdened by the lower income states, right? So these could be the challenges, and you can give a balanced answer saying that keeping in mind the various challenges that we have mentioned, you can always promote it as a cooperative, as a tool for cooperative federalism to achieve the goals of SDG, right? Or you can simply give the gist of the answer as your futuristic solution, being the GST, tools like GST will enhance the cooperation between the states and the union for overall or holistic growth. Now we have provided empty space wherein you can search for various reports or the data from Economic Survey of India on how much GST there is. Economic Survey year on year gives you how much GST is collected, and you can see, you can put the data in numbers or the stats in numbers here, which you can again use for maybe another question on the same static concept, right? Now you can also say that there is a year on year growth in the collection of GST, right? And you can put the data as substantiation for the fact that you have mentioned. You can use this again in introduction for various questions. You can use it as also a conclusion saying that there is growth, that means the GST has been well established and it is working efficiently in the country, right? Now this is how we can write an answer. We will see another question today from the workbook. Now we have seen how to use the workbook, we understand how to use the workbook, right? Let us see the question directly. Before going that, what is it about? What is the article that we have provided? Here the article talks about 2 vaccines that brought us to the brink of eradicating polio, right? Now here you can see how the scientists, what are the various methods of vaccines that are available for polio, the oral method and also the tissue method, that which is injected into the nervous system of the human beings, that is the IPV. The oral method is called the OPV, right? So you read it carefully and understand what is given. Now, what kind of question did we ask? So here is the question. Critically analyze the success of Mission Indradhanush and suggest measures to tackle the challenges in their implementation. So what is the question asking for? What is the keyword? We need to understand what is the keyword that is asked in the first place. It is saying critically analyze. Whenever it says critically analyze or critically examine, you have to focus on the challenges of that particular issue, or simply you can call them the negatives of the particular issue. You will be mentioning positives as well, but if there are so many challenges, we will be discussing challenges in the first place. That will be your priority. Then we will use the positives to give a futuristic conclusion. Right? So, now what is the key concept? The key concept here is Mission Indradhanush. Mission Indradhanush. Now what is this? This is Universal Immunization Program of India. And suggest measures to tackle the challenges in their implementation. That will be your positives. Critically analyzing the Indradhanush should be the negatives of the mission. Right? Always remember, when you have two parts of a question, that is, you have two questions in a single question, you will address them equally. You will always address each part of the question equally. You will not write everything about the challenges and just write one sentence on measures. If you are writing 4 challenges, you will always write 4. At least keep the ratio of equal proportions. Make sure you answer it in a balanced way. Do not keep writing just the first part of the question or the second part of the question and do not neglect the other part of the question. This is very important when you have different parts, or when different parts of the questions are there in a single question. Now, current affairs based, what is the latest mission of Indradhanush that is there? First, we'll say, you can start it saying the intensified mission Indradhanush IMI. I'm writing it as IMI 5.0 is the latest. Now, as per the data which happened, and this happened in October 2023 till November, it says it has immunized 5.06 crores of children till now by the mission, and approximately 1.25 crore of pregnant women in the country. This is the current affairs that we have regarding the mission, and we are also providing it with data, right? This is as per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Next, definition based. Do we have a definition for a mission? No. But what do we have? We have the objective or aim of a mission. Now, what is the aim of mission on Indradhanush? To immunize 90% of the population of India completely by 2020. This was the objective. What was the aim? Again, the aim is to immunize children and pregnant women completely, or also those children and pregnant women who are partially immunized, meaning they have not completely immunized for all the diseases that are mentioned in the universal immunization program. How many diseases we are covering? 7. When the mission Indradhanush started in 2014, we were covering 7 vaccines. Vaccines for what? You will have to remember the facts. That way, you will have to remember for diphtheria, for whooping cough, for tetanus, right? For measles, for tuberculosis, etc. You will need to remember all the vaccines. Now, what is the recent vaccines that are added in 2023? Measles is there from the beginning, but measles and rubella, we want to eradicate measles and rubella in the year 2023 drive of intensified mission Indradhanush 5.0. Now, we are covering different dimensions. We said critically analyze. So, we will critically analyze by saying the program or the initiative, the mission Indradhanush, failed to achieve its target that is to immunize 90% of the population by 2020. Right? We have failed. Then we can also say it did not create complete awareness regarding vaccines and the taboo around vaccines. There are still certain religious aspects that are attributed to having vaccine, considering them to be injecting live viruses, and some people are not interested, or they do not believe in the process of vaccination, thinking that you are introducing the virus into your body which might cause the disease instead of immunizing you. So you need to create complete awareness of what the vaccine does to your body and how it helps in achieving herd immunity to certain diseases. Right? Then you can say that we do not have comprehensive data. We do not have comprehensive data to reach the newly born and newly pregnant women who are nomadic, meaning the migrant workers, because they do not stay in one place or in a particular state and they keep moving. You do not have a consolidated data on how many new children are being born. We have to keep in mind the population that is going to grow in order to accommodate them in the mission Indradhanush. Right? Now that also becomes a challenge. Now we can also say, now we will go to the other part of the question saying, although we couldn't achieve the target, we can follow, or we can follow certain measures to achieve the target. So how can we achieve? What are the measures? Measures we can take is consolidating data, consolidating data and linking it to the Aadhaar. Creating awareness among people about the benefits of universal immunization. Creating awareness. As per WHO, by 2019, we have achieved 86% of immunization in the country. Right? 86%. But then the population kept growing. So what can we do? We accommodate the future population as well. So this can be the suggestive measures. You can give examples how, like the UWIN portal. You can link the UWIN portal wherein you are collecting data of the people that are being immunized with your Aadhaar. Right? Then you can also say consolidating data. You can use the example for creating awareness drives that we have created for polio to and achieved the polio free status in 2014. So such awareness drives can also be started for creation awareness for various immunizations under this program, right? Then if you are seeing how to conclude this answer, again you can link SDGs. What are the SDGs here? For immunization, SDG 3 talks about the overall health of the people. So to achieve SDG 3, the mission Indradhanush is enhancing the opportunities to achieve the goal of Sustainable Development Goal 3 that is there by 2030. That is SDG linked. Next, what is a futuristic conclusion to this? Futuristic meaning by adopting and redefining the goals, we can achieve universal immunization very soon. Or a balanced equation, a balanced conclusion, you can say that by adopting the suggested measures, you can mention any of the challenge that is there or the challenges. You can have a crux of the answer or the data that we have provided in 2 simple lines. That will be your balanced conclusion. Now, what are the reports that you can use for such questions? The data that is given in WHO, right? The data is there in Ministry of Health. You have data pertaining to this in PIB regarding the recent IMI drive, intensified Mission Indradhanush 5.0 drive. So you collect and write the main aspects so that whenever there is any other kind of questions asked, you can use the relevant data from here to introduce the topic or to substantiate the points that are asked in the body, in the dimensions, or to write them in your conclusions. So here we understand basically how to write the answers, how to understand the keywords, various keywords, and what are the key concepts that are asked in the question. When you understand them, it becomes easy for you to structurize the answer. The model answers that we are giving, our intention is not for you to by heart these answers. This is just a suggestive answers. You can put any kind of data here from any kind of reports from international organizations or from the ministry's websites to introduce the same answer, right? You can use them in various dimensions to substantiate the facts that we are giving. So substantiation will make your answer more relevant, right? So this is today we have discussed 2 concepts and we hope you like the session. Thank you.